Well, hello, fellow addicts. Welcome back to Addicts Live, your internet escape from the craziness in the world. I'm Alissa, your resident head addict, and I'm joined by my co-host from the north, Super Safi.
Happy Saturday, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great weekend.
The Simpsons crew is back. Or the Simpsons crew, the Addicts Crew. Wow, I've said that for 67 episodes, and I finally screwed it up. The Addicts Crew is back once again to bring you Simpsons news and Saturday smiles. It'd be funny if the Simpsons crew was back to bring you Addicts news. I mean, that'd be pretty funny if like Homer was dropping like truth bombs and stuff. That'd be pretty interesting. So before we get into this week's show, it is time for your weekly reminder to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So hit that red button so you don't miss any of the addicts. And as always, for those not watching this directly on YouTube, I will put a link to the subscribe button in the show notes below. So let's get on to this week's show. It's been kind of a crazy week at Addicts, not going to lie. For me, it's been a crazy lots of weeks. So I'm thrilled for a lot of things to finally be out there. I'm also thrilled to have this show as my own little internet escape right now. I'm always happy when I get to talk TSTO, The Simpsons, and the amazing community of the Addicts. So I'm happy to be here, guys. So the Love and War event officially ended. Finally, Safi, it feels like we've been living in Marge's romance novel for an eternity. It feels like we've been living it since the 1800s. So nothing new to replace it as of yet, but I do suspect EA will have a mini event for us out next week, likely Wednesday. That seems to be the trend. Content-wise, I'm hoping for St. Patrick's Day. Green Rivers are my favorite, but who knows? But let's wrap up Love and War. Saf, now that it's over, overall thoughts, your good, bad, and ugly?
The good was the dialogue. It's not just good, it was great. I mean, I really enjoyed it. The premium quest lines dialogue, the whole story and how it kind of came together. I have no issues with having all these different iterations of Marge roaming our town. So it was nice to see her kind of interact and get her own event. I mean, we've seen it with Flanders, we've seen it with Millhouse. So it's about time Marge got her due. So it was a great event in terms of dialogue. The bad, I would say some of the latter two prize tracks for Act 3 and Act 4 were pretty bad in my opinion, especially when they set the bar high with the Act 1 prize track. The ugly, I can't really think of anything.
Safi's got to find something really negative to say, and I don't think he can.
I'm trying to think here what was really ugly with this event. I can't really think of anything ugly with this event. It was pretty much just good and bad there. Maybe the guild deal I would say was ugly. It was probably the worst guild deal we've had to date. Yeah, I would say the guild deal probably.
I can jump on board that. That's a good assessment.
How about yourself? What was your good, bad, and ugly for this event?
So, much like you, my good was the dialogue. Dialogue's always awesome lately. It's been on point. It's phenomenal. I'm actually going to share some of the dialogue from Act 4 with you guys shortly because there's some stuff that just makes you stop and go, huh? So the dialogue, the free characters on the prize track. I love when you get a full character on a prize track. Some may complain because it's a Marge lookalike and a Flanders lookalike. I'm good with it. It's fine with me. I liked them. Free character, not costumes, works for me. I also really liked the Money to Burn fire pit.
Yeah.
Homer's yoga task, still my favorite. And the love tester, which I almost forgot about because it happened so early in the event. It feels like it happened 18 years ago. Way back in the 1800s is when it feels like it happened. So I really, the love tester is fun. I wish it was a little bit different. We talked about this. Like I wish you could see what it actually says a little easier, but I do enjoy that. My bad was, aside from Homer's yoga task, animated tasks as prizes. Just seems like a waste of a prize to me. Also, mystery box tokens as prizes. EA, I'm only going to tell you this 600 times, and I'll probably tell you 1,800 more. mystery box tokens as prizes are terrible. Please stop doing them. Uh, also, my bad was Gil's deal. It was a bad Gil deal. I didn't 199 donuts for that. Not worth it. I, on the other hand, unlike Safi, could find ugly things to say about this event. So my main ugly is that this event was way too long. It's just way too long. This would have been better as a mini event. It would have been perfect as a mini event. 2 weeks, 5 prizes. We would have had no issues. And 5 prizes, no mystery box token as a prize. They could have bundled Temperance with her house as a prize. You could have gotten the money to burn fire pit. Could have been a decoration you could have bought in the store. I mean, there's all kinds of things they could have done.
Right.
Like I would have paid donuts for the love tester. They could have thrown that in the store as a decoration, and I would have been happy with that. So I think this just was too long. I think a lot of players felt that way. Based on a lot of the feedback we got, it was like acts 1 and 2 were great, act 3, 4, so that's it. Those are my 3 my good, bad, and ugly situations. But what were your overall thoughts now that it's over, now that we've had a little bit of time to reflect? What did you think overall?
Overall, I mean, it was pretty run-of-the-mill with some of the events we've seen last year. I mean, the format hasn't changed. The dialogue has been strong. So overall, there was nothing that really raised it to any high levels or anything that really brought it down for me. It was, I give it like maybe a B- or a C+.
Yeah.
It was a pretty average event.
Yeah, I mean, I would give it a C+ as well. It's still really early in the event cycle for 2021.
Exactly. I like to give my grades at the end of the year when I've had time to look back and kind of think about it. But yeah, at this point, if I had to, it was kind of average.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first major event.
B- C+.
First major event of 2021. So yeah, we don't really have anything in this year to judge it against. So I'm sure that my opinion and my grade will change by the time we do the year in review. But as it stands today, I would say a C+. I mean, I remember back to Bart Royale. That was the only one that I thought was terrible when it hit and terrible at the end. I actually thought it was worse at the end. So, but most of the time, after you've had a year of events, you're kind of like, oh, yeah, that actually wasn't so bad. So,
right, absolutely. We'll see.
So let's jump to some community responses on this. You guys had a lot to say, which I love. I absolutely love. Of course, I managed to put up the post asking for your responses a little earlier this week than other weeks, so that was good. But guys, I will tell you, I screwed up. I admit it. I totally screwed up. I forgot that WordPress changed their poll system, and you apparently have to sign up for a paid account to view poll results now. So I put a poll there asking you guys to grade it, and I have no way of accessing that. So I have no idea how you guys rated the event in the poll. I will put a Google Forms poll in the show notes just to kind of see if we can get a little bit of a feedback on it. But I apologize. I know you guys like poll results. I like poll results. I have no way of knowing what you guys said. I'm sorry. But we do have comments. A lot of you guys left comments, so we can jump to those. So let's get to that. This is the part where I get to read, and guys, reading is hard. So bear with me. All right. Richard says, I long for the days when events were brilliant. You know, something like the Stonecutters update. Now that was a top event. And when visiting your neighbors was fun. Oh, well, I suppose. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I miss the neighbor interactions. I never thought I would, but I do.
Yeah, no, definitely. I went by your town just recently, and I was like, when's the last time I came to Alyssa's town? It's been a while, so yeah.
I actually did some redesigning too, so there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I miss neighbor interactions for sure.
I mean, friend points is such an easy thing to have. Like you said, if they made this a mini event, there's so many places they could have had the love tester as a friend point. I mean, friend points were fun. I enjoyed them. So I feel like it's something that they could definitely bring back.
There's a lot of things that felt like EA started and never finished. It's like
the rags to riches.
If this was a house, like if TSTO was a house, I feel like it would have 2x4s up. It'd have studs. It'd be framed. Some windows would be in, some windows wouldn't be in. You'd have like half done drywall. You know, I mean, it's just they start things that sound really great and then they don't finish them.
Definitely. I mean, even in the files. I mean, I think it was Thursday this week that somebody was commenting about the toilet again, the world's largest toilet. I mean, it's been in the files for 8 years.
Give me my toilet, EA. Although I think I've joked that once they add the toilet, I think it's over. So I don't think we need that. Cadbo says, I'd rate it a B+, marked down because it dragged on a bit, and I missed the event days of having invading tappables to tap, like Bob clones. Though any event where I get to make a new area, I'm happy. I hate the events where prizes are nothing special and they just get placed anywhere. Unfortunately, I did hit the 10,000 limit warning because I dared to buy Valentine's Day trees. The nerve. How dare you buy those trees? Benefit is you hit 10,000, but you have 4,000 more because the item limit's 14,000. So lots more decorating to go. David Billington says, I only gave it a D. Ooh, because that's rougher than us. Because some of the prizes were absolute rubbish. I wish I had a British accent that I could read that in.
One of my favorite words to hear British people say is rubbish. I love it.
Not enough new content. I love new buildings and characters. I think we should get 2 buildings per act and 1 character plus the usual donut splurge for a premium character. I agree, David. Santos L. Helper says, wait, let me drink some seltzer before I do this one. Hold on.
It's a long one. All right. Well, here we go.
All right. Now that my palate is moist. 3 things I liked about the event. The dialogue was great with Artie and most of the characters from the event getting involved. The content was pretty decent since the buildings were the best items from the event, followed by the characters, animated tasks, and then decorations. The buildings were really well designed in this event since the Ziff Bouvier Mansion, Ziff Wedding Home, Ziff Hotel, and Downward Doghouse Yoga Studio were the best designed items in my opinion. 3 things I didn't like about the event. I didn't like how most of the decorations didn't have tasks or extra animations with them since the Love Tester, Artie Hollow Present, and Harpoon Hill are the only ones with extra animations or tasks. I didn't like how the building prizes only had 1 permanent character task with them since Temperance should have had a permanent task at Temperance's house. That makes too much logical sense. I didn't like how 3/4, 6 of the characters were premium and the other quarter 2 were freemium prizes. I think EA would only offer either a character EA should only offer either a character you buy for real money or a guild deal character along with 1 premium character per act instead of both a real money character and a guild deal character being offered in the same event. Overall, I gave the event a B grade. It was good but not great since there are parts of it that EA did well on, the selection of items available, and things that EA didn't do well on. The new items only improve vanity and consumerism on the conformometer. It was also nice to see an event have more female characters than male characters. I agree. It was.
Yeah, a couple good points there. I mean, the female to male ratio was great. One thing I did forget to mention that I did mention in some of our earlier episodes was like the episodes, they bring in these peripheral characters a lot more. I mean, it was so great to see like the quest lines and the dialogue include like Sea Captain, Akira, Bumblebee Man, like everybody was involved. So that's always nice when they can engage the entire diaspora of all their characters.
I agree for sure. It was nice. We've been complaining. I remember like when we first started the site and everything, we were always complaining that there weren't enough female characters in the game. Events didn't have enough female characters. It was like a big thing when you'd get I remember when Luann came into the game.
Women of Springfield.
Yeah, we had a whole section of the site about that. The Real Housewives of Springfield begging EA to add more characters. But I remember like when Luann came into the game back in like the fall of 2013, it was like a big deal, but she was a premium character. Everybody was mad. They were like, they finally added a female character and it's a premium character. So it is nice to see that finally after, nearly a decade of TSTO, EA is adding more female characters. And I agree about the buildings. I do think some of the buildings were really nice. Knockers to me was not. I mean, I think I said this in the video about it. It looked like Gulp and Blow. Like it reminded me of that. And that's not EA's fault. That's Gracie's fault because that's how they drew the building in the show. And the same Downward Doghouse Yoga Studio is nice, but it's not anything. I don't know. It seems a little plain to me, but that's me. All right. Fred Frog says he gave it a D-. Same as all recent events. I assume the servers cannot cope with anything more complicated. Prizes were a random bunch where they will be placed apart. Much prefer grouping event prizes together as a reminder of the event. Bring back stonecutters. Never forgotten. Well, if they bring back stonecutters, and we've had stonecutters, what content would they bring back?
Yeah, it's the big thing with that. Like, I think more so it's sort of about having the format, and it's true. I mean, they can still bring in some things like the friends points, the neighbor interactions, the tappables. Another thing that came to mind while you were reading some of these comments was like the mini games. I mean, we've had so many mini games with mini events or major events, excuse me. It'd be nice to have like just one other aspect of the game that provides a new challenge. So. It doesn't have to be something hard, like even like the dig site, the excavation, the ruins, and the excavation site. Those are fun to play and tap. I mean, I'm always looking for my flaming torches to line my boardwalk, and the Where's Maggie was a fun one with the baby sitter bandit. So having little mini games like that would be a nice way to bring not the stonecutters back, but like level of challenge or intellectual. Yeah.
Even something like the casino event where they had those casino games, like that was a lot of fun.
That was
these little things within the game, the games within the game. Listen, I have complained. I've been doing this a long time. I've had a lot of complaints, but I have been one of the loudest voices against crafting. But I know a lot of you guys love it. A lot of you guys miss it. I personally would rather have the items that would have been craftables in my store that I could just buy, because I hate grinding for crafting. I hate it. I don't mind grinding for prizes. I hate grinding for crafting. But there's a lot of little things they could do. They should bring tappables back. I do miss having things to squish and tap and pop and all kinds of things. But this show is slowly turning into a what EA should do show. But the mini games, like bringing back stuff like the casino event, even something with stonecutters where they bring back the daily puzzles. That's all great, useful information, useful, fun things that they could do that keep people engaged in the game. Let's see. John Miller commented on Fred Frog's post and said, "Same here. D for me. Was going to give it an F, but hey, I'm in a good mood. The sun is shining. Totally forgettable event. Overall, some of the worst prizes I can remember. Memory's not so short. So not so long. Come on, EA. If you're going to stick with this flame format, at least give us some decent content." I do agree with that. I'm afraid I'm spending less and less time now playing Tapped Out. There is just nothing to keep me interested. Used to be the first game app I opened each day. Now, sadly, the last. Shame it was great for a long time, though, and I'm grateful for that. And Susan's added, "Me too. I'm not impressed anymore." Colin, this is what happens when you guys are brutally honest. Colin Dawson said, "What I noticed is that there are various characters which don't appear in the yearbook and can only be obtained through special events. About half of the old premium characters can be obtained through the yearbook, but the rest, they can only be obtained through tokens and events." Fair point. Ernesto says, "Back in the day, this event would have been a C, but as of the last few years, it's now a B. I guess we're lucky the game is still going. It's still kind of meh. Not memorable, just kind of forgotten." Keith Rooney. Keith, I love you. You know I love you. I love your comments. Too long. Bring on the next event. Something green. Susan says, "There is really nothing fun about the events anymore. I could even do them with my eyes closed." That's impressive. We should have a contest. See who can tap with their eyes closed. The stuff.
Let's see who can nuke their town with the eyes closed.
The stuff we get are just the stuff to put on the land. Not impressed. And for the last few years, I have so much stuff in my inventory, I don't know what to do with it. CJ Brown LV. "This was a solid B+ from Act 1 to 2, but by Act 3, I lost interest. Yes, Harpoon Hill ruined it for me. At least I didn't have a crap attack and quit the game app in anger like those who hated Pagan Christmas 2016. Touche. I bailed on Act 4. Too many Marge Simpsons variants. Too many Artie Ziff buildings. Too many tokens. Equal 12 donuts. This multi-act event gets an F for failing to deliver a worthy event because it was padded with crap prizes. Hope I'm doing this justice for you, CJ. It's my dramatic reading. Out of 100% new content, only 30% is used, and that is because I was only interested in those things related to Temperance, Cyrus Manley, Captain Mordecai, with the exception of Harpoon Hill. That belongs in the trash, along with the Springfield Dog Pound. I'm just amusing myself now, guys. The icing on the cake of this really Leazy, lazy, but spelled out with EA in there. We get the Tunnel of Love, but not one permanent visual task at it. Come on, EA. Do I need to look at this I can't even read, guys. Reading is hard. Do I need to look at this as best we get in 2021, or will you try harder? Not even with the writing could save this multi-act event. This should have been a mini event for 2.5 weeks with nothing Artie Ziff related. Boy, CJ really hates Artie. This technically was supposed to be a Valentine's theme, but it wasn't. Then again, Halloween and Christmas last year weren't respectively themed. The only things Valentine's themes was the mystery box. I wish we got buildings and decor that were related to an Edwarnia era coastal town. Wishful thinking, like thinking we could get more land. Okay, now I need a drink. We're gonna have a drinking game, guys.
Seriously, every long post, you take a sip, right?
It's seltzer, I promise, not vodka. Some days I wish it was vodka, but it's seltzer.
Yeah, she brought up some good points, and I could see that as well. I mean, the Artie stuff, I do like Artie, so no complaints there. But yeah,
did you see? I don't know if you saw. Someone put in our Flickr. We still have a Flickr account, guys. So if you have stuff you want to upload to our Flickr account, it's great. TSTO Addicts. So you can access it on the website. Somebody uploaded a really cool design with Artie in it that said, I'll put it in the show notes. They copied something that was in the show. Like Artie had a design of himself in the back of it, in the back of his house, and it's really cool. It's a neat thing. You have to look at it, but I will post that picture in the show notes because it's really neat. Speaking of Artie,
I haven't seen it. I did give that person instructions on how to post, but yeah, no, I didn't get a chance to actually see it. So yeah, I'll have to take a look at that. I love some of the designs our readers share with us.
For sure. Gia says, wish they brought back all the limited time items and those brickstone buildings. Even though we are buying with donuts, we need to fill our Springfield towns. I missed 2019 to 2020. Of course, I missed so many items. I love Tapped Out, but it's disappointing how coming back of the 60 friends, I only had 2 that play, the rest left. I think I read that right. BBYKTTY, Baby Kitty, I assume. I'm glad I could finish these little events with my busy schedule. Funny new characters now in my Springfield. I only wish we were able to buy chocolates, gifts for our neighbors for Valentine's. That'd be fun. Off topic. Oh, that's already answered. And Will says, the final one, abandoned the event and grinded donuts to get to Tanya. Started early as I knew she would be difficult to acquire. Very happy, hard work, but a week and or month off coming up. Something for everyone in this game. So it sounds like the bulk of the comments were in line with us as far as it just was too long.
Yeah, no, and I felt like a lot of the readers did feel it was like an average event, like a B minus C plus. Had a couple of B's and yeah, for the most part they were kind of in line with us now. But again, as time passes, your view of events does change. So we'll see how this event kind of lines up at the end of the year. But yeah, right now it was a pretty average event.
I'm always kind of blown away by the two extremes. Some people love these multi-events because they can finish everything. They're not difficult to do. And other people hate them because they finish everything and they're not difficult to do. It's like, I feel like EA tries to listen and they just end up, no matter what they do, they can't please everyone. So I think they need to, what I personally think would make things great is if they go back to the original way they did events, where it was one prize track and there was like 15 prizes on it. And you just had to just keep going the entire event to unlock all the prizes. No crafting.
you can kind of see a little bit of a downside with that too. I mean, if they did that at the same like calendar pace as this, let's say in a 9-day act, a lot of people are done by like 4 or 5 days, right? So if they did the whole event for the same 36 days, and you got people who are finished the entire price track in 15 days, then they got like a full like 20 days of downtime. I mean, that could be pretty risky.
Yeah, but if you're playing it true, it shouldn't be like that. The way I look at it, if you're rushing, you're rushing. It doesn't matter whether the prize track has 20 prizes or the prize track has 5. You're rushing to finish quickly. But if they make it difficult, like I just go back to like Whacking Day, that was so hard to do. It was so hard to unlock those prizes because the goals were very difficult to obtain. If they go back to doing something like that, with ways that you can acquire the things a little bit easier, but I think that, I don't know, I feel like that might be a better balance because you're not necessarily going to finish as early as you think you would.
Right.
If you're rushing, you're rushing. If you finish these, you're able to finish so quick because they make it so you can finish them so quick. I mean, the goals are ridiculously low. Especially if you buy all the premium characters, you knock it out really quick. And if you're spending donuts, you're spending donuts. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to you how many prizes there are. You're just going to spend the donuts to be done. In my opinion, anyway. So
no, and a lot of it also has to do with what's going on in your personal life. Like, oftentimes I'll notice comments, oh, I'm really enjoying the pace of the event right now because I got this going on in my real life, and then you got other people who don't have any other things going on and want to be more challenged, or complain that well, I finished it so quickly. So of course, it's really hard to please everyone.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry.
Safi's pants are ringing. So do you have anything else you want to add before we officially wrap up Love and War and hopefully never talk about it again? Uh-oh, you're muted.
No, we'll see how things go in the year-end review. But for now, average event. I'm looking forward to what comes next.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We are going to have a year in review, so I am going to have to talk about it again. Yeah, it wasn't terrible, guys. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. It could have been a 2-week event, and we all would have been probably a lot happier. But I think we're going to end things there. If you missed anything on the site this week, I will say it here. Patrick, cranky old guy, is officially retired from TSTO blogging. So you can go back and check out his post. I wrote a very detailed post kind of about what we do moving forward, how we move forward. We just move forward, guys. We are going to kind of try to bring back a lot of that community feel to the site. Hopefully, you guys have already started to feel that. And, we'll kind of go from there. We're just, Safi and I are going to plug along. Safi, between the two of us, there will be calendars. I know everybody was freaking out about calendars. I promise there will still be calendars. So have no fear. They were here long before Patrick was here. They will be here long after Patrick is here. So don't fear. But yeah, with all that being said, we are going to go. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of the amazing Addicts community. And we will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.